Welcome everyone to another video for Midian Gaming, and today we're going to be looking at deck building for the X-Files card game. Now before I do start, in the comments I am going to put down some links in regards to this deck builder that's online. I would give the web address, but it's quite long, so I'll put that down in the comments. I'll also put in some links to other pages which work with the X-Files. You've probably seen them already, but let me just go through some quick ones that will be in the comments when I put it down. Now, Studio Sequim has two videos, or one video in particular. It's about 3 hours long in regards to deck building. Watch that. This video is going to be different about it because those people play the game and they're pretty much so into the game that they're producing stuff from their own knowledge. But someone coming into the game for the first time and really looking at all the cards, listening to what they say, it's still very overwhelming. Yeah, you look at the cards, you really want to build a deck, but you just don't know where to start. And this is what this video is about. It's about taking it right back and really understanding how we're going to make our first deck, which is what I did. I don't know if everything's correct, but we're going to try it in a future video and try out and see where we're going right, going wrong, and what changes we need to make. And it's going to be a journey, yeah? Well, if you go into Studio Sequim, which, like I said, is going to be linked in the descriptions below, they'll talk about the cards and they get to that next higher level of what you should select and everything. And while it's correct, it's still a bit overwhelming once you watch that video and then go back to your cards and you just don't know where to start, yeah? And so I'm going to be breaking it down what I did to start. It's turned out to be pretty much a full day just to make 2 decks, you know, learning everything, reading every card, and seeing what the best way to actually just jump in the game and have a lot of fun and not be stuck with dead cards in hand. Both players want to be playing the game, get enjoyment, and I believe that the decks I made really get people into the game and really want to play the game after they've experienced it, and not go, you know, this is a bit too hard, or I didn't really enjoy myself because I couldn't really get to play my cards, yeah? The next one on there is Alien Investigations. Really has quite a lot of games that you can watch. Very innovative card designs, and they create the decks to actually have themes. And later on, although we're really building decks to really be efficient and get the most out of our plays in this video, they take it to the next level with themed, which is what I would like to take it to in the future when I start making decks to really go against each other with a theme behind them. And then the other one that I've got up there is X-Files CCG. Matt and Mike, and they've been doing a lot in the community. It's just good to actually, if you want to get involved with the X-Files background and what's happening, probably watch a bit of their stuff as well, okay? So we're going to get straight into it. You've got this huge collection of cards. You've had it for umpteen years and you just don't know where to start. You look at the agents and yeah, you're just wondering what's going on. So good place to go is this deck builder online. Once again, it's detailed down in the comments. And as you can see, I've built a site here which has got like 2 combat cards, a range of sites, 20 sites. I'm going to go with a flat number there. There isn't really a number that you should be going for, but around about 25% to 30%, or maybe a bit more. For sites, up to you in that regard. I'm going with 20 right across the board. I've got a fair few bluffs in there. I've got my 4 agents, only about 3 witnesses, a range of events, 2 pieces of equipment, and a few adversaries. Now, this one, which agent is this? This one is the Dana Scully deck. So I built a Mulder and a Scully deck. Now, what we'll probably do is we'll go into the Mulder deck. So bear with me while I go into deck building, and we're going to bring up the Mulder deck. So, yeah, we'll open this deck instead. Now, the reason why I wanted to go into Mulder is because it doesn't have as many adversaries. As a matter of fact, that's strange. It doesn't have any adversaries in this one. So we'll see in regards to... That's very strange. I thought I actually had adversaries in this. Let me just quickly check this one. Otherwise, we'll go back to the Dana one It's got 60, 76 cards in it, minus the 4, so it's brought down to 72. I'm still trying to get it down even more, but 72 cards seems to be a good number. I don't have any adversaries, so we'll go with this deck, and then on a later video I'll do the Dana deck, which has quite a few adversaries, okay? So where to start? My idea on this would be to look at the agents and pick one that you want, yeah? And I'm going to go, this has a great selector here, agent selector. So we're going to go into that. Now you're wanting to pick an agent that you want to represent. So let's just go with Agent Fox Mulder here. Now just make sure it's appearing on your screens. So yep, it's all greened out, very good. I'm just going to shut down this other page that I had open to introduce myself to the other pages. Okay, so Agent Fox Mulder. Now if we go down to this stats area, we see here, and I've got my, there we go. All right, so we see he's big in alien investigation, and starting to get there with occult investigation and behavioral. So we've got 3 skills that we're going to build our deck on, and that's those 3 skills. And we want to find agents that are nice and comparable with his skills. We don't want to go ranging right across the board, trying to get medical and a bit of computer and bureaucracy. You know what? If we face those challenges, then we deal with them. We're going to go strong in what we do, and we're going to try and win the game by finding what the opponent's X-File is, by doing sites, finding some good sites. So in this, we're going to be looking at, what were they? They were alien investigation and occult investigation. So alien investigation up here, we'll select the OR symbol. Oh, sorry, you can't actually see that. Let me just get my photo out of the way. All right, alien investigation. And the other one that we had there was occult investigation. So we'll show 6 more and we'll go occult investigation. That brings up a team of agents which work with those 2 skills. So what we're going to do, I'll just move myself back over here again. I might put myself over the X-Files and we'll just go through this. So now we can actually look down here to see the changes of stuff that happens. If I select Albert Holstein, we can see that we've got the alien investigation went up, I believe. Occult investigation went to 7. That's fantastic. We want to be at about 7s or 8s to make sure we're doing really well. I chose Agent Mo Blocks, which actually threw both our criminal investigation evidence collection well up to there into the greens, not into blue as yet, but look at that, alien investigation and occult investigation, very strong. So now we've got 2 other areas, criminal investigation and evidence collection, that we can actually think about in regards to building the deck. We need 20 points. So far we've got 16, so we need a 4 character. And you know what? Who works well with Mulder is Phoebe. Reason why is, now Phoebe's not here, but Phoebe's got a particular ability to bring Mulder to a site where she is. Now I only know that not due to this, but I read all the agent cards. So we'll get rid of alien investigation. And does Phoebe show up? No, so we'll get rid of occult investigation. Phoebe should show up. There's Phoebe. So we will select, oh, we can't select her. No, we're over too many. So what will I do? I'll take out Mo. Let's put Phoebe. Oh, and it's Agent Jack Willis. Sorry. I was having a lot of troubles with exactly that. I was 1 point over, and so I had to figure out which way I was going to go. I wanted to keep Albert Holstein, mainly because he goes and looks for a witness. And for the areas where we're going to have, like, not a 7 or an 8, we want a witness just to throw down in order to help us with that. I got Phoebe because she helps bring Mulder in, and now let's look at where we're sitting. Alien investigation 6, behavioral 5, criminal investigation 7, occult investigation 8, evidence collection 6. We've actually hit 5 different areas where we've got actually very strong abilities, very much more in criminal investigation and occult investigation, which is we're going to build the deck around. But if the opponent comes out and tries to get us with a few behaviorals, alien investigations, or maybe evidence collection skill checks, then we're going to hit those, aren't we? All right. We've also got a long range of 8, so anything that's actually put on the field we could most likely kill in one go at long range. And if they do get into close range, all the agents together should be able to take it out, okay? Got a total cost of 20 down there, so we know we're going right. This is what we're building the deck over, okay? So criminal investigation and occult investigation. So when we go back to deck building, or the card list, let's just say, let's see what we've got selected. I'll just make sure I've got the right agents again. Agent Fox Mulder. Okay. So we can go down on the side here and see what type of cards we're looking for. Now, I'll get myself out of the way there again. All right. Next, we want sites, okay? Sites are what we're going to investigate in order to get where we need to get. We said we're going to go with about 20 of them, so we'll select sites. Let's take off selected for now because I want to show you the process of what we're going through. Let me move this picture out of the way. It's going to get in the way, but I think this is the best area for it. Then we're going to go down. So we've selected site, and then we're going to look at keywords. Show 64 more, and we're going to go OR. Now we went for alien investigation, of which we've got quite a few. And I think occult investigation. We want the strongest chance to actually, oh no, occult investigation there. Right, 45 results found. So now what we want to do is we want to go through these sites and find 20 of the sites. Most likely, to make it easier, you find a site that's good and get 2 of them because you're allowed 2 of every card within an X-Files deck. So that's what we want to do. So when we start looking at them, we can start seeing what they do in these area. Now, this is occult investigation, criminal investigation, 5+ and 5+, which we're making quite easily. So we pick up 2 of them. You've got a little arrow here that you can just keep going through all the cards. We didn't select this one, alien investigation 4+. You would think so, but what I'm looking at the moment is multi-sites. So you may ask one motive question or a method question. So motive and method, yeah? So we're getting a choice of what we want to go with in that regard. So went that one, skipped that. We went to this next one, affiliation. There's probably a reason why I chose this one because I didn't have enough affiliation sites. I had method, I had motives, but not enough affiliations. That's why I possibly chose that one. And we just go down and we start looking at this. We're looking for the dual sites mainly and then filling it up with the single sites for investigation. So, you know, Farmington, did I actually select Farmington? No, I didn't, but I did select Dead Horse, which was once again a multi-site. And this is what we want to do, UFO wreckage, motive, or one result question. So as you can see, there's a plan there to actually put down a site and see what question we want to ask, depending on what we've asked before and what we're checking off, and hopefully getting down to that X-file as fast as possible. All right. So right at the moment, after you selected your 20, you've got your agents and your sites. Now we possibly look at different things in order to get there. If there's certain sites that may be a little bit of an issue, maybe an evidence collection or something like that, we want to start looking for witnesses. And probably, look, our deck size will get really big really quickly, yeah? So we're going to make an idea that we only want about 3 or 4 witnesses. So let's go to that. Let's take off, yeah, selected's off. Oh, and with this, I should say that I'm only using Premiere cards for now. I'm not using the extended sets because I want to look at my old collection, which I have, build decks, get to know the game, and then slowly add the other cards from future sets in. And in regards to that, I also take out, I remove the ultra rares. So down here will be rarity, and you can select everything and take out the ultra rares. Okay, and that's what I do for this, because I don't want to be in a situation where let me just take this out. Sorry about this. Sites. So there were 12 sites. Wherever we're going with that, okay? So let's go to the witnesses. With the ultra rares, you know, I might have 1 or 2 of them. For myself, I want to build 4 decks, yeah? I want a Scully deck, I want a Mulder deck, a Skinner deck, and a Krychek deck. That's what I've said to myself, and they're all going to work slightly a little bit differently, not be themed too much at the moment, just to play on a table and learn the game and figure out what different cards do. They're all going to be very much the same in regards to the cookie cutter cards, getting the most bang for your buck before we move to a more themed decks, okay? And that's what all this is about, to get you straight into the game, playing using all your cards, not waiting for certain things to happen where you just hold them all game and it never comes up, yeah? If the opponent isn't doing a cold investigation, you've got a cold investigation cards, activator cards in hand that never get played, you just hate it, yeah? Especially if they're red cards, you can't really get rid of them. You can't sell them off like the blue cards to get your conspiracy points. So yeah, most decks will have very similar cards in that respect, but it's to get you into the game where we can learn the game, appreciate the game, have some fun, and then move on from there. All right, enough talking. Let me get onto this. So we've got witnesses. Now this is doing something really weird here. All right, so take out the alien investigation. All right, so imagine we wanted certain cards, take out a cold investigation. Now we're back up to 37 witnesses, yeah? Now you can go through all these witnesses to see what you want, or you can click on something like evidence investigation, alien investigation, and see what you want. Let's take a look at evidence collection, shall we? And see there's 3 witnesses there for evidence collection. One of those is Kevin Morris. If you look at the deck building video, Stephen, I believe it is, talks very much about Kevin Morris, one of his favorite cards. Adds 1 resource point to your pool every time a keyword alien investigation or evidence collection card is played. Now, obviously playing this with Mulder, where you're playing alien investigation sites and various other cards, you're going to get 1 resource point back just due to this being on the table. So it's a must include card, and we put 2 of them in. Any must include cards, we're putting the full allotment of 2 in. And that means the deck can build up very quick. We've got it down to, what was it, 72 cards plus 4 agents. So we're doing pretty well at the moment. So let's take a look. If I take away the evidence collection, let's see, after reading every single witness card, what I actually selected. I selected 4. Dr. Diamond adds 1 to the team's behavioral skill check. So if we get hit with someone saying you need to make a behavioral check, we've got Dr. Diamond to pull out and adds 1 to the behavioral skill check, yeah? Or if we're desperate and we put down a side and it's got behavioral as a second ability there, with that we might actually do that. We've got Kevin Morris. Max Fenig adds to the team's alien investigation skill check. If something forces an agent to go back to the bureau, or something happens, maybe an adversary takes out an agent and we've still got to investigate a site, Max Fenig could come to the party and add 2 to them. So yeah. We've got Sheila Braun adds 2 to the team's behavioral skill check. Very much the same type of thing. Very cookie cutter things, straight down the line, nothing special at this point. So we've got 3 to 4 witnesses in there. We've only got 1 Sheila Braun, so it's 2, 4, 5, 6, and 1 Dr. Diamond. So actually we've got 6 witnesses, which is a fair bit. But as you can see with this deck, I didn't go the adversary route. I wanted to really go, we're just going to investigate sites. We're going to put up with whatever you throw at us, and we're going to continue on. So that's what we're looking at. One thing that we could have more of in there is probably healing, but right now I just wanted to make the decks to actually get us going. So we've got our witnesses, we've got our sites, and we've got our agents. Maybe we want to put in like 2 pieces of equipment, 2 to 3 pieces of equipment just for resource points at this stage, yeah? We can start using equipment to actually do better within the game, but at this point in time, it's better used for conspiracy points. So let's just look at equipment, take out the witness, put equipment in. We are only looking at Premiere, and we've got a fair bit of equipment in. You can take a look through this all yourself, but you'll see that shotgun can be sold for 6 resource points. We probably wouldn't even use a shotgun, not necessary, especially with our long range. We're just using it for conspiracy points. So that's 6 points there. And let's go to cellular phone, which I thought was pretty good at 4. And cellular phone could potentially be used. It is a very good card. The agent may add his skills to a skill check that is occurring in another section of the table. So effectively, I've got 1 cell phone and 2 shotgun. You could switch that out to 2 cell phone and 1 shotgun if you didn't mind not using the 6 CP for the second card, and use a cellular phone, because this is a fantastic card to use on the field or to sell for CP. So that's a little thing that you could do. So now we've got the base of those cards. We want to start looking about how we're going to affect the game with events, which will affect us and the opponent, and bluff cards. So from here, look, you could go into the adversaries at this point and choose 1 or 2 just for fun. With this deck, I didn't. Okay, so from here, we've got the events, we've got the agents. So you could go with combat cards. What combat cards did I go with? Nerve Strike. Now, see, this is where I think I've made a problem with the deck, which I wasn't actually aware of before. This is these were put in there when I had let me just make sure I don't have any adversaries before we continue on. So let me take adversary. Oh no, I did select some adversaries. I wonder why they weren't coming up. Let me just go back to the entire deck list. And I've got combat selected here. Bear with me. Something's not right. Combat. Oh no, maybe it's just... I see, yep. No, I don't see, actually. Alright, witness, events, equipment. Oh, there you go. Alright, so down the bottom here, I'll see if I can get that up. You've got a selection of rows per page. Select more to actually get the rest. Alright, so I do have adversaries in there. Thank goodness for that. I actually have 3 adversaries, and I went through these. Now, I was very cookie cutter with the adversaries. On this one, long range is skipped. Okay, we just skipped a long range, can maybe survive one turn Hunter in the Dark with 5 life, doing 4 damage to agents. So if they can survive a second turn, then they're doing quite a bit of damage, yeah? The fact that you skipped a long range combat is very important, because otherwise this would be dead and wouldn't actually get an attack because it has no long range. Then we've got the crew cut man, also with 5 health, but doing 4 damage at long range. Chosen agent is the only one who may participate in combat. The crew cut may use martial arts and subterfuge cards. So you're playing this against a particular agent. Now let's see what the activators are. Method sight. So with the activations, we're not going for anything crazy. We're going for something that we're definitely going to see. We're going to see a method sight being played. We're going to see a or result sight. We're going to see different sights played. So we're playing adversaries that have sights on them. So Hunter in the Dark is result sight. We've got crew cut man who's going to do damage on a method sight. We've also got the mechanic, very much the same as with the crew cut man, affiliation sight. So we're very much being right down the line that we are going to play these cards. We are going to see these sights played. So when we have those cards in hand and those sights are played, bang, we're putting them down. Now they are expensive, but they can also use combat cards. So we've taken 3 adversaries and we've thrown in 2 combat cards. The reason why I selected these, very good, martial arts. So most of the adversaries can use combat cards. Not this one, but this one can. Martial arts and subterfuge cards, and this one, martial arts and subterfuge cards. So I selected 2 combat cards. If I get them, great. If I don't, they do have the purple symbol, so I can sell them off for conspiracy points as well. And that's something to also keep in mind. So adds 2 to the close combat range skill, and this one, the spinning kick, adds 3 to their close combat range skill. Okay, so it can really do some serious damage in close if they were to come. So we've got all those cards out of the way. Now we're going to get to the cards that really matter, that are going to help you or stimmy your opponent. First of all, we look at the events. Okay, we can look at bluffs afterwards as well. And this I don't know in regards to the numbers. Let me get the stats up for you of where everything is sitting at the moment, okay? So we've got 3 adversaries, 4 agents. Now, when we're coming into these, got 2 combat, 3 equipment, 6 witnesses. 6 is quite a lot, but you saw that we're really just looking to investigate the sites as opposed to the Scully deck, where you'll see later on in another video where we've gone more adversary intense to really challenge the other team. Sites 20. Events we've gone with 25. Now what this doesn't show is how many of the events are red events and how many are blue events. How many help us with the blue, how many go against our opponent and help us by going against the opponent being the red cards. So we have to manually count those out, and I selected 15 bluffs, all right, to bring us to the numbers that we're at the moment. So let's take a look at what I selected with events. Now with events, if I take off the selected here, there is a lot of events, as you can see, and you can read through all of them. It's 90. Yeah, 90 events. That is crazy. That's why it took me a whole day to pretty much make these decks. Let's see what I went with on the selection though, yeah? And you'll see, well, no, let me first of all give you an example of one that I didn't select, all right? So successful diagnosis, place on a team in the hospital containing an injured agent. The agent heals 2 damage immediately. This is a very good card. I actually had this in and I took it out because I want to risk seeing how far we get. Now, this is an ultra rare, so let's just skip the ultra rare. Let's go to a rare, shutting down the X-Files. Play on a team containing Agent Fox Mulder or Dana Scully. So this is where we start getting into the themes stuff. I would possibly play this with Krychek on a Krychek deck, trying to shut down the X-Files, okay? So, and it's pretty much a useless card if it's played against any other deck that doesn't have Scully or Mulder. So as you can see that I'm taking out the cards which are situational, okay? So let's go to reporters at the crime scene. That's another one where you're playing more than one player and a question is directed at a particular player and they give the answer to just that player. You can force that player to actually tell you what the answer, so you can start marking it down on your sheet as well. I want to believe, play on an agent to allow agent to use their evidence collection skill number for any one alien investigation or occult investigation skill check. Very good card. However, once again, very situational based on alien investigation or occult investigation and them having evidence collection, yeah? So let's take out those type of cards. We don't want situational. We want to play at any point with about 90% certainty. So let's take a look at what we actually got. Play on a team in the field during the deployment phase. If the team makes a criminal investigation skill 6+ check, they may investigate 2 sites. Very important. We want to investigate 2 sites if we can, go bang, bang, and move the team to those 2 sites. So yeah, 2 of that card. What's the next one? Smoking. The cigarette smoking man strikes. Change any keyword to any other keyword on a card played by your opponent. So just changing keywords, yeah? And then maybe you can play an adversary or play another card on that you want to, maybe a bluff. So it just comes out of nowhere. Now that card I put down to 1, probably because I only had like 2 or 3 of this card and I need to move them throughout the decks, yeah? Otherwise, pretty good card for 5. For a 2 of in a deck. Street contact. Search through your bureau deck and place any one witness card into your hand. So searching through your deck. These are definites. They're not situational. You're going to do this when you get this card. And getting through your deck, searching into your deck is one of the most powerful things that you can do in this game. So do it, yeah? Put 2 of those, each of those cards in your deck when you get a chance. Now, play on a team in the field. If the team makes an evidence investigation collection of 5+, then they may add 2 to a skill check. Discard this card after you've used this modifier. So once again, that evidence collection coming into it, we're looking to get a +2 on any future card. If our opponent stuffs us up with an adversary or some type of bluff, we've got that +2 sitting there for anything. It's not put onto a particular skill. So yeah, non-situational again. Same with thorough documentation. You can add 2. This one, play on a team in the field. If the team makes an occult investigation, skill check, they may take 2 of their opponent's conspiracy pool and add them to their resource pool. It's happening, yeah? If you draw this card, it's being done. So as you can see, we're having the most fun with this game by being able to play the cards that we have. And that's what it's all about. To get new players in the game, we want them playing cards feeling like, yes, they've got an active role within this game and not sitting back all annoyed because they've got cards they can't play. That was my experience taking those starter decks and trying to play them and trying to make things work. You know, maybe some of us are built a little bit different and we don't mind that and try and work that skill out, but we want to get new people into the game, yeah? So it's cards like this that we need to be putting in decks to actually help them along. Like Langley as well. Force 1 bluff card attached to a site to be discarded. So, you know, see that bluff there? And with Dana Scully, we can actually take a token off Dana Scully to look at a bluff card. And if we don't like what we see, we can Langley that thing and get rid of it and then go into the site, investigate the site, do what we have to do, ask our question, and hopefully win the game, yeah? All right, paperwork. Force an opponent team to make a criminal investigation 5+ skill check. Now, this is a little bit situational, but put it in there because it is good because, or they'll be unable to add their skills to a skill site check this turn. So, yeah, pretty good. I like that one, especially if we catch someone out that doesn't have the criminal investigation, that's high in other areas, or they're an agent down, yeah? Force an opponent to make a sciences 4+ skill check. Now, this card is a rare. I haven't got too many of them, so I'm trying to split them between the decks. You know, trying to make a sciences 4+ check. Sciences, you don't really see it that often, and the Scully deck has it, but other decks might not. So, yeah. All right, Dark Forces align. We can, yeah, for the rest, play an opponent team in any section. For the rest of the turn, that team is considered to have a single characteristic site keyword. You may choose any one characteristic for the keyword, which allows us to play our adversaries or particular other event cards that we might want to play, yeah? Force an opponent team to make a computer 4+ skill check, or they will be unable to complete the skill check. Not everyone has computer skills, so yeah. Especially, remember we're talking the 1990s, computers weren't all that. Force an opponent team to make a subterfuge 4+ skill check. If they are not successful, they automatically fail the skill check. So a whole range of cards to stop the opponent from investigating a particular site, hopefully without that skill check. No place is safe. I love this card. It's in the Scully deck. The Mulder deck seems to have one. For the remainder of this turn, the Bureau is considered to have a single characteristic site keyword. Put down that site keyword, throw down the adversary into the Bureau and starts wreaking havoc, hopefully taking a whole team out straight to the hospital. Then it's your turn because they can't investigate any sites. Fantastic. Hard evidence. Add 5 tokens to your resource pool. Does anything need to be said? There's a 2 of this card in every single deck. It's just stupid that it wouldn't be in a deck. It's just simple as that. Easily played. Grid pattern search. Select one card from your discard pile and place it in your hand. You don't even have to think about this. This is a card that I don't have too many of. It's a rare card, so I'm going to be looking for this. And they're not cheap. I think they're $5 online each. But if you can find them, but then you've got to pay for postage as well, which is a real hassle. So I'm probably going to start opening up some more boxes in order to find this card. All right, Rejuvenating Caves, another like no-brainer. Play this card next to the X-File you have chosen. Place 10 tokens on this card. Beginning on your opponent's next turn, you may take up to 2 tokens from this card and place them in your conspiracy pool. The tokens become conspiracy pool tokens. When all counters have been removed, discard this card. It's an automatic 2 of. You know, you're getting these extra resources for nothing. How much did this card cost you? Only 2 to get so much more out of it. Alien Experimentation, negate any one keyword event card. So easy. Look, a lot of these are going to be in both decks just because they give so much benefit and you don't need requirements for it. Just like Frohiki, this card will negate 1 event card played on your team. So you don't like the event, Frohiki it if you've got this in your hand for 3. I found 2 more in card opening, booster openings last night, so I was very, very happy. All right, and that's the end of our event cards. Now, with the events, we've got things that help us and neg the opponent. So with the event, we've got 25, as you can see here, 25 cards. Let's see how many was for the opponent and how many red as opposed to blue. And we'll count them out. Okay, we'll count the blues of the 25. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, out of 25 cards, 15, which means 10 of them are against the opponent as we use them. So that gives you an idea. We're about 40-60 there. You might want to go 50-50. Up to you, seeing how the swing goes. But I've put more blues in than I have reds, 15-10, which seems to be a good number out of the 25. What's that? That's about 70% or something if I had a calculator. I do have a calculator. Let's just quickly give that a buzz, yeah? So 15 divided by 25, where 60% of our cards are used for us, 40% against the opponent in regards to events. And then we are left with the bluffs, okay? Bluffs right at the end of my card building journey. Let's get bluffs up there. And I've got 10 bluffs in there, okay? I looked at the card selections, put these in. Some I've got 2 of, others I've got 1. Let's just look at what each one does. Play on an agent to decrease the agent's res value by 1. That's a sneaky, nasty little one. So you're stopping the opponent from getting res points to actually play cards. I thought this was an interesting card. It could come out, but let's leave it in there and have some fun with the game, yeah? Force one agent of your choice back to the bureau immediately. Like this section Chief Joseph McGrath, potentially a 2 of. I've only had it 1 in this deck, probably because I've been trying to get the numbers down. This deck was sitting at about 109 cards, and I got it down to, what was the number again? Let me just see. 76, so 72 cards, yeah? When it was well up there over 100. So it's probably one of the ones that took a hit in order to bring the card thing down. So we've got Intruder Countermeasures Program. Play to add 2 CP to your pool immediately. Bang, straight away. It's an automatic 2 of in any deck. And important to note, these conspiracy cards are light on the activators. Okay, let's take a look. Conspiracy, no other activator. No other activators. No other activators, okay? We're making sure we can play these bluffs and that they're not tied to a particular site which we might not see, such as an alien investigation site or anything like that. Not for our first lot of games, please, yeah? All right. So we've got force an opposing team to make a Sciences 4+ skill check. Remember that Sciences skill might not always be there. If they fail, each agent takes 1 point of damage. If one of the agents has a gas chromatograph, which they most likely won't, then this card has no effect. So doing 1 point of damage to each agent, pretty good. We've got one of those in just to throw it in there. Laser Barrier, 2 of. Play to prevent one agent assigned to the site from contributing agent skill to 1 check. There's no activator on this, so it's an automatic 2 of in just about every deck that you're going to play. Nasty Surprise. Look at this. Play to add 5 tokens to your CP pool. 2 of, people. No brainer with that. Radioactive Area. Increase the site prerequisite by 1 point. So if you need a 4+ to reach it, it's now 5+. If you need a 6+ to reach it, it's now 7+, yeah? So a good one to throw on a team. It doesn't always work because teams stick together and have high numbers when they're going into a site. But if you can punish someone with the radioactive area and then throw down an adversary and really affect their team, it might just be enough to stop them investigating the site. Remember, you're buying yourself time so you can investigate your sites. Ask those questions. Get those other X-Files crossed off so you can win the game by getting the right one, yeah? Cards like this, it's a good include. 2 of, yeah, I could probably put that down to 1 if I really wanted to, looking at this now. Car Troubles. Play on a team of 3 or more agents, strong team, Moving to the same site, the team are only send 2 agents to the site. Bang, yeah. So that may actually really affect. I've only got 1 on this. In hindsight, I would probably make this a 1-off and put 2 of car troubles in. But we'll see how the decks play out. But these are the type of things that when you're looking back over it, you can actually see what would actually go better. Once again, no activator on this. Pay 1 CP to move up to 2 resource points from your opponent's RP pool to your CP pool immediately. So automatic to include hindering your opponent during their investigation phase. They might not be able to afford something to play, and putting them straight into your pool. Whether you spend it or not, you don't really care. It's costing you 1 to get 2 CP. It's great. All right, where are we at? We're at last one, Detective Tony Fiore. It's a 1-off. Play to cause your opponent to discard 2 cards at random from his hands immediately. So, you know, it's a no-brainer with this. I did have it at 2. I took it down to 1, probably to make the deck just a little bit more friendly, although I would probably put that up to 2. You know, I could potentially even consider taking both of these out to put 1 more Car Troubles in and 1 more Detective Tony Fiore, but we are going to keep them in. And that is our deck, people. That's a built deck. If you're wanting to actually have this deck yourself, I'll also put the lists, if I can work out, I believe we can put it down into some type of CSV file. Otherwise, take a screenshot. Let me just get rid of the bluffs. We've got everything selected. You can screenshot this and see the numbers of what they are, and you've got the rarities on the side as well. I tried to make it pretty okay. It's got a fair few rare cards in there that might be hard to find, but it's very easy to replace. Probably not with as good a card, but something similar will do just fine, okay? So take your screenshots of this if you need to. If I can get it down into the area for the comments area, I'll put it down in there as well. So just going through all this again. Like I said, you can screenshot this if you need a deck, and that's that. The next one we'll be going with is the Scully deck, and then we'll have a video which is a game session between Mulder team versus the Scully team, and see how they go. So guys, it's a great game, and I'm really looking forward to the more videos to support this game. Check out the other links in the site if you're really wanting to deep dive into it. If you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. If you want to support us, it's a second of your time, a lifetime of love for us. Just subscribe, and we'll see you all on the next video, okay? Have a great one, guys. Bye-bye.